The story of Moses. Known as the leader, prophet, and lawgiver of the Hebrew people, Moses, according to Bible, was a descendant of the Hebrew who obeyed God to free his people from captivity in Egypt, and led a long pilgrimage to the land of Canaan. Moses, saved from death at birth, was raised an Egyptian prince after being recused by the Pharaoh's daughter. Moses, son of Jochebed and Amram, of the tribe of Levi, was born in Egypt at a time when Pharaoh Rames ordered the Hebrew midwives to execute the Hebrew male children. When you help the Hebrew woman give birth, observe whether it is a boy or a girl. If it's a boy, kill him. If it's a girl, let him live. Jochebed and hid Moses for 3 months. When she could hid him no longer, she took a papyrus basket, sealed it with peat, and placed the shield in it. She laid him among the reeds by the river bank. The shield was recused by a daughter of Pharaoh Rames II, who was bathing in the river. The boy's sister rushed from afar and offers to find a wet nurse, so he has a breast fed by the one mother. After growing up, the boy was handed back to Pharaoh's daughter, who named him Moses and raised him a nobleman in a palatial environment. Moses, as an adult, killed an Egyptian who was attacking a Hebrew and hid the body. Fearing discovery, he fled to Midian, where he became a shepherd, married, and raised a family. One day after Moses had grown up, he went to visit his brothers the Israelites. He saw an Egyptian beating one of them, a Hebrew. He looked this way and that, and when he saw no one there, he killed the man and hid him in the sand. After the murder, Moses discovered that this action had been witnessed, or that the incident would be discovered, and feared for his life, fleeing to Midian. There he became a shepherd and married, raising a family. God chose Moses to free the Hebrews from slavery in Egypt, performing miracles such as the proposals and the parting of the Red Sea, after receiving the 10 Commandments at Sinai. Moses led the people for 40 years in the desert, but died before entering the Promised Land. One day, when Moses was tending the flock of his father-in-law Jethro, an angel of God appeared to Moses in a flame of fire. From the flames a voice identified itself as God, announcing that he had chosen him to free his people from Egyptian captivity and lead them to Promised Land. During the vision, Moses received special powers with which he could convince Pharaoh to free his people. Moses returned to the palace and made his request to Pharaoh, but Pharaoh refused. When Pharaoh refused, Moses caused Egypt to be ravaged by the plagues, the turn of the Nile river into blood, an invasion of frogs, an invasion of lice, an invasion of flies, the death of livestock, the appearance of sores, a high storm, an invasion of locusts, darkness, and the final plague, the death of all the firstborn Egyptians. Only then did this convincing Pharaoh was decided to free the Hebrews. The Israelites set out from Ramesses toward Succoth, 600,000 men of foot, besides children. A great multitude also went up with them, with sheep, cattle, and many livestock. The Israelites spent 430 years in Egypt. As Moses and his people were on their way to Promised Land, Pharaoh turned back and ordered his troops to pursue them. When Pharaoh approached, the Israelites looked up and saw the Egyptians advanced behind them. Everyone was afraid, but Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord drove the sea back by a strong east wind, which dried up the sea, and the waters were divided in two. The Israelites went into the sea, and the waters formed two walls. In pursuit, the Egyptians pursued them with and followed horses, chariots, and horsemen, and they went in the midst of the sea. The Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over the sea, and the water will come back against the Egyptians, their chariots, and their horsemen." Upon reaching the foot of Mount Sinai, Moses retreated to the top of the mountain and received from God the 2 tables containing the 10 commandments and a series of laws that would regulate relations between people. For 40 years, they wandered in the desert until the entire slave generation died, so that only those born into freedom could enter the Promised Land. The Bible describes in detail the Hebrews would say events that would influence humanity for centuries. When Moses passed from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the summit of Praga opposite Jericho, the Lord showed him the entire land and said, "This is the land I promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, when I said, I will give it to your descendants. I am showing you the land, but you not cross over into it." Moses died before crossing the borders of the Promised Land. He was 120 years old. He was buried in the valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth-Peor. The Israelites wept for Moses in the plain of Moab for 30 days, until the mourning for Moses was ended. Moses inspired thousands of Christians to improve in their life missions. He shows how to be a true disciple and soldier of Christians, because in the midst of so many conflicts, he remained firm. He is an inspiration to me and broke the essence of what a Christian life really is like. Thank you for your attention.